Oh, I'm tired. I'm so tired. God.
Ukraine of some of its options for its big counteroffensive that most people think is underway. Crossing the Dnipro River along that stretch of the front will now become impossible, according to the former German Defense Ministry official. So, it's got to be Russia, right? Yeah, doesn't seem like it'd be anything that had helped the Ukrainians anyway. By the way, yesterday, National Security Council spokesman John Kirby was asked whether or not the Ukraine counteroffensive had begun, and he said, that's for them to speak to. What I can speak to is how hard we work to prepare them to be ready. So, yeah. So we got a lot invested in this, material and training and I think prestige.
I need to keep this vague, but a source close to a source with knowledge of the source says that those F-16s are going to be in the air quicker than you might think, or quicker than various commentators have suggested. Perhaps the state of training is more advanced than we're led to believe.
As has been the case the entire war at every step, and I'm not exactly sure if that's on purpose or what.
Yeah, well, I think it is to some extent, yeah, on both sides. The U.S. says, we're being extremely careful, hurry up that training. And the Ukrainians are saying, oh, we don't have tanks at all, and then a week later they're on the battlefield.
I was watching an analyst from the Eurasia Group on TV this morning, that's Ian Bremmer's outfit, and he said a couple of things to keep in mind is that the next couple of months are going to be very bloody, even by the standards of this war, and people need to be prepared for that. So, it is going to be gruesome during the counteroffensive. And secondly, statistics show, on average, any war that lasts more than a year, on average, lasts 10 years. And this one is now more than a year old. Oh, now, most wars do not have one side being backed by the United States of America, which is quite a different situation. Indeed. But that is still an interesting stat. Here is what got my attention. Russian infighting escalates as Wagner claims that the Russian army fired on his troops. A video posted by the leader of Russia's Wagner group, this Prigozhin guy we've been talking about now for quite a few weeks. Just quite the character on the face of the earth. They released a video showing the captured commander of a mechanized infantry brigade confessing to firing on Russian forces. But this was not a Ukrainian, he is an officer in the Russian armed forces. And he appears to have been beaten, and he's being questioned to the side in this video. Do you think personal animosity has a place in this war? And the guy says, no, and then lowers his gaze. The video was posted late last night by Prigozhin as evidence of his claim that Russian defense troops are targeting his troops, signaling a marked escalation in the feud between the paramilitary force and the Russian troops. It's hard to imagine where this is going.
Boy, I'm so interested in this. Is he pushing it as hard as he is, Prigozhin, in spite of Putin or with the approval of Putin? Is he exploiting the power he has as the commander of a military force Putin desperately needs in a way that's really pretty ballsy, or is Putin using him to undermine the generals because they're the only threat to his power? I don't know. I need to read up on this because that's such a great, interesting question. So Games of Thrones.
Oh, God, I would say, how about him capturing and torturing, it would look like, a Russian commander and forcing a confession of some sort out of him, and then posting the video?
That is one thing or the other. He's either got his finger in Putin's face, or it's with his approval. Which is it? Which would you guess?
I don't know. I don't have any idea. Now, he also said yesterday, Prigozhin, that Ukrainian forces had retaken part of the area north of Bakhmut. So his people had fought like crazy for months and lost many men to take Bakhmut. Now, then he turned it over to the Russian forces. Now Ukraine has taken back part of that. He said troops are slowly running away. It's a disgrace. So he's bad-mouthing the Russian troops, capturing commanders and torturing them. I have no idea what's going on there.
Wow, how does that end? And how does that work itself out? I've never seen anything like except in like a guerrilla war where you have various factions that, spend as much time fighting each other as the, El Presidente. And this is so interesting.
God, I would say. And at this moment that the counteroffensive is taking off.
Putting aside for the moment the horrific and repugnant loss of human life, is the power dynamics are unbelievable.
And blowing up that dam is not a minor deal either. If Ukraine can no longer cross that river, which, according to Mike Lyons and other people we talked to, is going to be part of the whole thing.
Yeah. So on a much cheerier note, I don't know about you all, but when it comes to Father's Day for me, I really want to express my love and appreciation for my dad. But with what? He doesn't need stuff, He doesn't need a fruit basket, really. He likes fruit. How much fruit can he eat before it goes bad? That's why this offer from Omaha Steaks is so great. My dad loves it when I send him Omaha Steaks, and yours will too.
Yeah, and we cooked up Omaha products over the weekend when we was barbecuing, when he singed all the hair off my fingers. With the grill this happened. Yeah, giant fireball right in the face. Glad I didn't lose my eyesight.
So Omaha Steaks, perfectly aged, always tender, guaranteed delicious. You're not going to singe your hair off unless you really.
Well, it wasn't a steak's fault. It's not Omaha Steak's fault that I let the gas run for like a minute before I put a match to it.
I appreciate you clarifying. That's great. We had the steak burgers the other night. Oh man.
Yeah, so that's what I was going to mention. Those burgers are they're the best thing ever.
Yeah. Head over to omahasteaks.com, use the promo code Armstrong and check out. Get $30 off your qualifying order. Packages can include fork tender, bacon wrapped filet mignons, other gourmet grillables like air chilled, boneless chicken breasts, burgers, jumbo franks. Oh my God, the franks are good too. And many more favorites. And don't forget to save room for dessert. Most gift packages come with 4 delicious caramel apple tartlets. They are so good. Go to omahasteaks.com, use the code Armstrong and check out. Get that $30 off. An unforgettable gift guaranteed to make Dad's day. If there's one thing we know, it's dads like steak. omahasteaks.com. Use the promo code Armstrong at checkout. Minimum order is required. See site for details.
A couple of random things to throw in. If you follow sports, you know who Stephen A. Smith is. He's one of the biggest names in all of sports broadcasting. He just announced that the country needs a new president. So he's not on board with Biden being reelected. Wow. How much he's a black guy, very well known. How much F that has, I don't know.
It's interesting that he's coming out on that at all, but yeah, it's not good.
No, for Biden, I mean.
Right.
It's probably good for America. It's not good for Joe Biden. I came across this article, said it was kind of random. I thought it was good. Message to Kamala Harris. It's never too late to make a fourth impression. Thought that was funny.
No kidding.
As that conundrum continues on, because you got the whole Biden can't run, but his vice president is somebody nobody wants. I mean, what? I was watching or reading somebody lay out the dynamics of what's happening for the 2024 presidential election. I mean, it's unprecedented in so many ways. So, we haven't even talked about the Trump story where it looks like they had a flood there, the pool broke or whatever. There, you didn't follow that story?
No.
Yeah. So at Mar-a-Lago, there was some sort of flood there in one of the rooms where they were keeping the video for where he was keeping the documents. Anyway, there's a bunch of information that's not available because they had a flood. Just coincidentally, apparently, right at the time where you'd want the video from the security system at that point.
Oh, that is unfortunate.
It's an unfortunate timing, isn't it? Anyway, so you got that whole thing, and most people seem to think, and Donald Trump even indicated it himself yesterday in one of his truth postings, that he's going to get indicted again on a different thing. This is the whole documents case.
Boy, and the Georgia vote influence thing is ongoing.
Right.
They're grilling those 2 firms that Trump hired to find voter fraud that they couldn't find enough to make any difference.
Right. And so back to the being so incredibly unprecedented with both sides, it's just so crazy. You got an ancient old guy that everybody, including people in his own party, think he's not mentally fit.
Flat Vatican
You got president again, you got the vice president underneath that nobody wants, then you got the guy on the other side that's running away with the race, at least for now, unless some event is going to have to change it. A major event to change anything from Trump becoming the nominee, and he's going to be indicted at least one more time, maybe a couple more times. Doesn't mean he'll be convicted, but he'll have to be battling that the whole time he's running. Wow, what a crazy time. people that at least currently are most likely to be the nominees. I mean, it's wild. It's hard to imagine. It's hard to imagine how you could end up with a crazier situation.
So I'm 92.7% confident that Joe Biden will not run. But I have no idea how they deal with the Kamala Harris conundrum. Unless, although, you know what, it just clicked in my brain. So Biden's not running, but nobody's saying that in the elite of the Democratic Party, because then he would become an instant lame duck, and the knives would come out, and they would have chaos as people clawed over each other to try to, get the nomination. They want to put that off until late this year, early next year. So that part is coalesced in my mind. I think what they're going to do is declare we have so many great Democrats, such a deep bench, so many fine would-be leaders. It would be wrong for us to anoint one of them the candidate, meaning Kamala Harris. That would not be right. That would not be American. So she will compete with the rest, and then, of course, she'll get the same vote total she usually does, practically none,
right?
And vanish from the scene, tail betwixt legs.
Yeah, and it's possible that this so-called conundrum disappears in an instant when somebody says that. And it wasn't quite the conundrum at all.
I think I may have just spelled it out for you. Somebody jot all this down, all right? And throw it back in my face if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think that happens a lot, where they make up these situations that seem so difficult, and they're not difficult at all. It's like if somebody said they weren't going to run for president, how would they change their mind? They just immediately say, I changed my mind, and that's the end of the story. It's over. Right? Who freaking cares? Two best descriptions of Washington, D.C. Number one, it's Hollywood for ugly people. Number two, it's one big high school. And a lot of this stuff is high school gossip. Jeannie is so in trouble. Did you hear what she said about Jim and it got back to him? Stuff resolves itself. So if you're uncomfortable with the direction a lot of stuff is going trans-wise, to me, the best argument you have against some of your more progressive friends is what Europe does, or what Europe is doing. And we have another country, major step taken by a European country saying no to experimental, treatments on children. That's really interesting. That and other stuff on the way.
Armstrong and Getty.
Consumer Cellular offers the best in wireless for up to half the cost of the other guys.
Their 100% U.S.-based customer support is there for you every step of the way, and you can keep your phone and number, and activation is free.
You'll get unlimited talk and text with a flexible data plan starting at just $20 a month. Plus, you can add a family member to your plan for just $15 a month per line.
Never worry about dropped calls. Consumer Cellular has the exact same coverage as the major carriers, with coverage to over 99% of the nation.
This is all backed by their 100% risk-free guarantee. And also, with Consumer Cellular, you could save up to $250 a year when you switch.
Pick up your cell phone, dial pound 250, and say the keyword Morning Show for $25 off. You'll have the option to receive a one-time auto-dial text message from Consumer Cellular.
Dial pound 250 and say the keyword Morning Show for $25 off.
Dial pound 250 and say Morning Show for $25 off Consumer Cellular.
Now, did you know over 300 million people watched the live coronation of Charles III of Britain last month? About the same as the population of the U.S. That's a lot of people. It's so easy to watch something like that and think, that could never be me. The wealth, these incredible riches, I could never own things like silver and gold. But that's not true. So many of our clients at Noble Gold Investments have ordinary jobs and ordinary incomes. They've just seen the light when it comes to investment and security. The crown jewels you saw at the ceremony are made of the most valuable and tangible asset of all. And so is a gold IRA. This month, the first solid 1/4 ounce gold standard bullion coin ever issued with Charles III's image can be yours with your own qualifying gold IRA or 401k rollover of $50,000 or higher. Just use the promo code KING. You can't go wrong with Noble Gold Investments. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com. That's noblegoldinvestments.com.
Face it, life looks a little different. During these times, we're doing our best to keep our minds and bodies strong. And getting a flu shot helps us stay healthy, so we don't miss out on what matters, like having game night at home. Yeah, can't do that while sick with the flu. Now imagine strongest. Every year, millions of people in the U.S. get the flu. Especially now. No one has time to miss out on moments that matter. So get your flu shot. Find out more at getmyflushot.org. Brought to you by the AMA, CDC, and the Ad Council.
If a natural disaster comes knocking, how prepared is your family? You can't just close the door on earthquakes, floods, or hurricanes and hope they go away. That's why it's important to make a plan now. Ready.gov/plan has the tools and tips you need to prepare your family for an emergency. So if disaster shows up at your doorstep, you'll be ready. Visit ready.gov/plan and make a plan today. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
My husband had a gun. Him and his friends would go shooting. The ammunition, unfortunately, was not stored separately. In a million years, we never thought that Emily could. There's a hole in our family that can never, ever be filled.
63 Americans a day die by gun suicide. With safe gun storage, we can give our loved ones a second chance at life. Learn more at endfamilyfire.org. Brought to you by Brady and the Ad Council.
People do some pretty cool things in their 40s and 50s. Why should saving for retirement be any different? I mean, they go back to college, learn new instruments, start skateboarding. Okay, maybe that one's not for everybody, but saving for retirement is. With acretirement.org, you can get on track with your retirement savings no matter your age. Just have a 3-minute chat with Avo, a friendly digital retirement coach from AARP. You'll get personalized recommendations based on your input that are easy to understand and work with your lifestyle. It's quick, easy, and free. Plus, it's sponsored by AARP, so you know they got your back. Golly move, Dad.
Thanks, sweetie.
So wherever you are in your retirement savings journey, head to acretirement.org and start chatting with Avo today. That's acretirement.org. A message from AARP and the Ad Council.
Because that's what it is. They mentioned in the mob boat that several medical